Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. Let's go. Uh-huh. That's right. Hot takes, sports concepts, and rationalizations coming your way.
No Soul Train.
Have you seen the bottoms of Dan's sneakers? They are the No Soul Train.
All right, let's get this thing started. We call it the 10-minute drill. We will amaze and inspire you with our sports takes this morning, prepare you for that water cooler conversation. And, Dan, I'll get things started right away. I kind of said it going to the break. The password is miscommunication. Are you buying – look, this is a defense that have 10 starters from last year that has played buttoned-up football forever. There's a difference between miscommunication and lackadaisical play or misplaying or misreading. Are we buying miscommunication as the reason the Jags gave up, count them, 40 points to the Cowboys?
I am buying that word, and I'll tell you why, because I saw plays where guys putting their hands in the air and looking at the other guy like, what the hell just happened here? What did I do wrong? And Tayshaun Gibson, who's a very forthright guy in the locker room, said so. He said, look, I blew it on the Beasley touchdown. That was my bad. I pointed to me immediately after he scored, so that was my fault. So I don't know why there's miscommunication. There shouldn't be miscommunication. And I'm not an X's and O's guy, but I'm not sure if they have too much stuff going on. Doug Marrone admitted that 9 guys weren't supposed to drop back on that one particular play, that one of the defensive tackles was supposed to rush. Both of them dropped back. So, yeah, I do buy it, and I guess it does happen, and it clearly happened. What's surprising is it happened over and over and over again on Sunday.
I guess the danger that I take from that is if you're going to write off giving up 40 to miscommunication, are we sure we're not just making a dumb play? I mean, if you're Tayshaun Gibson, are you miscommunicating, or are you just not playing, not running the play defensively as you were supposed to? Like, were both defensive tackles told to fall back?
Yeah.
Because if not, it's maybe miscommunication is a nice cover word for get your head out of your blanket.
I mean, I always go back to it's the X's and O's, not the Jimmys and Joes, and it's the Jimmys and Joes and not the X's and O's. I apologize. Yeah, it's the Jimmys and Joes, not the X's and O's. And another example yesterday, and happened in the National Football League. Jeff, why would you ever want to be a head coach? And if you were a head coach, don't hire your friends, because when it goes bad, then you got to turn around and fire them. This one hit particularly close to home as Dirk Cutter canned Smitty, one of our guys, Mike Smith, who we've known forever. We've also known Dirk forever, and Dirk and Mike knew each other here in Jacksonville and have worked at numerous NFL teams together. In fact, Dirk coordinated for Mike in Atlanta.
Yes, he did.
And so now Mike is coordinating for Dirk. Mike was a finalist for the Jaguars head coaching job that Doug Marrone got. He got canned yesterday. I told you I was reading Jerry West's book, and he's general manager of the Lakers for years and has frosty relationships with players and coaches alike. It's a dark side of the business. I don't blame Dirk Cutter for firing him, but gee whiz, did Mike Smith suddenly forget football? What's the point? What's the reason? Why do you do these things?
Well, here's why I do blame Dirk Cutter.
Uh-huh.
Because Dirk Cutter was asked about this 2 weeks ago, and he says no, I'm not going to fire Mike Smith. This isn't on one guy.
Right.
And now 2 weeks later, it is.
Yeah.
This is I'm ashamed for Dirk Cutter. I am.
Dear.
This is the biggest CYA firing of a good friend who, by the way, gave you an opportunity when you got, S-canned here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed in Dirk Cutter. And I promise you this, listen, friend of the program, Mark Duffner, takes over as defensive coordinator, a longtime Jaguar assistant. But I promise you, the Tampa Bay defense isn't suddenly going to become the whiz kids of the National Football League because they've gone from an established, successful coach with a resume who, like you said, hadn't forgotten defense. So, I heard an interesting comment along the same way. I heard Tony Dungy say that football has changed, and if you build with defense, it's a sucker's play. It's offense now, and teams have realized that they're not going to win just by stifling the other guy.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. It's interesting. The Jags made that choice a year ago, and then all of a sudden everything's like the rules have all changed, and now it's offenses that are dominating the world, and we look like we're a little bit behind in that area.
Well, it'll still be it'll still be interesting to see if that plays out when we have a real offense versus defense matchup in the postseason again.
I think the conversation with Smitty might have went something like this. Look, Smitty, this is a CYA thing. I got to do this, and I'll probably be there with you in about 6 weeks. So,
yeah. And you know what, knowing Mike Smith, and I don't mean to speak to a lack of competitive fire in him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I got a place over at Ormond Beach. Pay me my money. I'll go sit on the beach for 4 months. And you jackasses, good luck stopping anybody this weekend. Dirk, I've tried with these idiots. All right, let's move on, which is what I'm really starting to wonder about with the Pittsburgh Steelers running back, Le'Veon Bell, who many mistakenly believe might do the responsible thing and show up this week since he plans on playing beginning Week 8, which for the Steelers is after this week's bye week. But Bell did not report. Now, my question to you isn't, is Le'Veon Bell going to be traded, or who would be the best trade location for Le'Veon Bell? My question real, honestly is, and I know the caliber player we're talking about, should the Steelers be wary of even bringing Le'Veon Bell back?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, James Conner has been much more than they could have ever hoped for, and the guys genuinely like him, and they also genuinely dislike Le'Veon Bell at this point. I mean, they've gone on record and said that. So it would upset something. If team chemistry does matter, it would upset team chemistry. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen with the Le'Veon Bell situation, and frankly, I'm a little surprised he's not going to show up this week. I thought this was the week that he was targeted for, and fantasy owners across America are also a little bit disappointed, too, as they want him back in the lineup. Remember, it usually took him last year when he did this and skipped training camp, it took him a week or two. How long is it going to take him this time to get his footing? And he's not going to play as much because even if he does come back, James Conner ain't going out of the lineup.
Well, and here's the question. There's a question you ask yourself, too, if you're the Steelers or any team that gets Le'Veon Bell. Am I going to be a slave to the player telling me when he's going to play and not play? I mean, Le'Veon Bell may have a snap number in his head, and when he gets to it, he's going to shut it down. Suddenly Le'Veon Bell's got a high ankle sprain. He's just going to get paid the last 3 weeks. Or what happens if he comes back in the Steelers slump, and suddenly they're out of the playoff race? You think Le'Veon Bell is going to, Le'Veon Bell, it's going to be interesting to look back in history and see if Le'Veon Bell was a game changer when it came to players deciding when they are or aren't going to play. That's a dangerous slope, if you ask me.
Yeah. Have we seen the Brewers beat the Dodgers last night? And John Smoltz was, who I really like as an analyst, he has a very interesting, subplot to this series. He basically said the Brewers have this script and they got to go for the wins, and the Dodgers are just trying to be patient. They got to be patient. They got to stretch it out. They got to make it a 7-game series, and then get to a 7-game series. It's much advantage to the Dodgers because the Brewers rely so heavily on their bullpen, and if you can overtax their bullpen, then you got a real shot at beating them. It's just an interesting thing. But this craziness in baseball, man, it is baseball. I mean, this is like, I can't tell you what a monumental shift we have going on in the world of pitching and baseball. Is that hard to grasp and wrap your arms around as a guy who used to watch, as kids as we used to watch, Tom Seaver throw complete game after complete game after complete game, and a complete game was a badge of honor. And Sandy Koufax, who was a little bit before our time, throw 185 pitches in a 12-inning game, and it's unbelievable to me what's gone on in the world of baseball.
Well, you're talking about what the Brewers have done. If it's a proposed starter, a normal starter, they don't send him more than 5 innings. And look, Ulyss Chassin will tell you he loves it. He's pitched 3 postseason games. He hasn't given up a run yet, going between 5 and 6 innings. But the Brewers will also just throw out a middle reliever and let him go 2 innings and try and beat you that way. But I do think this, quote, strategy is still subject to validation. Listen, you think about baseball's rich postseason history and its faces and names like Madison Bumgarner and John Smoltz and Tom Seaver. And so I'm not buying that the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th pitchers on your roster are the best route to go. You can catch fire with them. No one has ever tested it, though, like the Brewers are. I mean, they don't throw a starter more than 5 innings, and that starter is typically a guy you've never heard of. So,
fascinating.
I'm not buying it. We'll see. And this is a great contrast because there are the Dodgers with 2 or 3 aces, and including Buehler, the rookie who got lit up last night. All right, I got one more for you.
Yeah, you do.
Here in the 5 10 minutes.
By the way, on a side note, is anybody having a worse week than Yasmani Grandal?
Yeah, he's in the tank.
Every time I look up, there's a pass ball or he's striking out. I think he's 0 for in the series.
He struck out a bunch.
And they're benching him again tonight.
You know it's bad when Dodger fans who don't say anything are saying, get this guy out of here.
Yeah, and the funny thing is for us Mets fans is he's one of those guys we've targeted. We'd like him to be our catch. We have no catcher.
He is a good player. He's just slumping.
I'd
take him right now.
Yeah, he's really
is he a free agent?
I think he must be because I know we've talked about him, but he is really, really struggling.
Yeah, I did my postmortem on the Braves the last couple of days, and really, I went into the postseason thinking, let's just add Kimbrel and everything else is okay. And
it's 24 home runs this year.
No, he's a very good player. I've changed my mind, and that's, catcher is a spot I think the Braves could upgrade. I'll tell you what else is great about Major League's postseason is how stars are born, and I think in terms of like Mark Lemke for the Braves years ago. There's and that's going on in this Brewers series. Right now, I mean, this cat Arcia had 3 homers all year.
Yeah.
He's a defensive shortstop.
He reminds me a little bit of my guy Rosario.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the pop that Rosario has.
Rosario only had 9,
but this guy had 2.
Yeah,
and he's hit 3 this postseason. So it's amazing how postseason stars are born as well out of nowhere. All right, last question.
Ask it.
I know the NBA is an 82-game exhibition, but I can't get enough of it, Hick. And I'm faced tonight with this. And I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Maybe this is the Braves battered syndrome still banging around in my brain, and it's too soon. It's too soon. But, I mean, I think I would rather watch Celtics Sixers tonight than Astros Red Sox. I think I'm as much looking forward to Golden State, Oklahoma City as I am Milwaukee, L.A. Am I crazy?
That's your thing. I mean, maybe that's a sign how well the NBA has marketed, how well they have so many stars. I think you're crazy personally because I don't care, especially, I mean, I'm just getting ready for Hawks-Knicks bloodbath tomorrow night.
I can't wait.
At the Garden.
Where are we watching the game?
Wherever you want.
I got a Gator Club tomorrow night, so
wherever you want, but it's going to be a brawl.
Wow, that sounds like a challenge.
All-out brawl tomorrow. So
I don't want to fight. I got a broken toe.
Yeah, I'm going to step on your toe.
I know you will.
When Kevin Knox drills that 3 ball at the end of the game, and Trae Young bounces it off his foot, and the Knicks win at the Garden. Good for you. I mean, I got no problem with that. I respect you as a sports fan, and if you want to watch that, but. Postseason baseball, there's nothing like it. But have you noticed also in postseason baseball how the games have suddenly lengthened because they take so long between every pitch?
And it's these pitchers too.
When you
go to 8 pitchers in a game.
I just for the fun of it, it's supposed to be a 20-second rule between pitches.
Shut up, Chip.
Yeah, just for the fun of it, I started counting last night just while I was watching. I mean, I'm like 28, 32. It was ridiculous. One other baseball note as we finish up here. And good luck with your NBA tonight. I'll look for a full report tomorrow morning.
Boston. Listen, don't forget the excitement over getting Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. By the time the playoffs played out last year, here's Boston running all the way to these finals without either one of them.
Yeah, well, Hayward tonight when he has that second gruesome injury on opening
night. Why?
No?
That's not necessary.
No, that's not. Back to baseball, though, and the sport that matters right now. NBA, you know this, and maybe you'll watch opening night because you're excited, but you'll be back at Christmas Day. That's when it should start. By the way,
I mean, I get it. I like the games.
That's fine.
The East games matter. If you're not the top seed in the East, then you got no chance against Golden State. And
the East games matter for us to lose because we need to get a high
That's
pick.
a different story.
Anyway, yesterday was the 30-year anniversary of Kirk Gibson, and that's one of the most iconic moments I think
it was Sunday night
in baseball history. I'm still personally a little bitter because it should have never happened because the Mets should have been playing
Oral. You ran into Oral that year. That was Oral.
No, it wasn't Oral.
57.
It was Mike Scioscia hitting a home run off Doc Gooden when we had the series.
I mean that's Oral's year that he threw the 50s.
But we beat Oral.
We
beat
him.
I
remember
we beat him in game 1.
1-0.
2-1.
Yeah, something like that. I remember that.
David Cone.
I think, did Oral take that streak into the postseason, or had he done it earlier in the year?
It was late.
Yeah, I think he may have had it going when he went in.
Well, we broke it. Yeah. I know that. We got runs off him, and
well, that's a guy you never wanted to face in the postseason.
No, the Bulldog. Yeah. But we had him, and
what about Gordy? I hate to see Gordy not get mentioned. Gordy Hershiser, the sportscaster. Remember him?
I do remember.
He was like in Orlando or something years ago.
I'm Gordy Hershiser.
Yeah. I'm Oral's brother.
Anyway, so that's what. Now we also have a giveaway. We'll take caller number 2 today.
Yeah.
Beef, what do we got?
Make it easy. Caller number 2 is going to get a $50 gift certificate for dinner at Seven Bridges Grill and Brewery, and they'll
Dang.
be entered for a chance to win this week's grand prize, which is Jags Texans tickets, complete with admission to the game day tailgate experience. That comes with food and beverage before the game.
Yeah.
Seven Bridges is good, man. I like that
That's
place.
good eats.
Yeah.
You are going to have to answer one question today, and that question is, who names their boys Oral and Gordy? We're back with more on a Catlin Truck Accessories Tuesday.